Okay, our topic for today is reinforcement learning. So this will be our last topic, and then pwede na din mo mag-focus sa inyong project in the next couple of weeks. Okay? So if you can recall, in our last nga mga topics before, ang akong gitudlo kay supervised learning and unsupervised learning, 'di ba? Nag-regression ta, nag-clustering, classification. Yep, we did those things, mga decision trees, yan na. However, this time around, we will proceed to another type of learning, which is reinforcement learning. Okay, so please pay attention because yeah, naagya po siya math, pero easy naman po. So, nothing to worry about. Okay. Okay. What is reinforcement learning? So, reinforcement learning allows teaching agents which actions are good and which are bad. This is done through some form of feedback. So, ang reinforcement learning daw kuno, we teach our agents kung unsa nga kung unsa sa iyang mga gipang buhat ang maayo o dili maayo. So, unsa man pagkahibalo sa imong agent kung correct iyang gibuhat or mali. So, we do it through feedback. Okay, through feedback. So, imagine you're training an AI that will play Super Mario. So, if mamatay ang agent, pag makaduol siya sa enemy, then imong tudloan ang imong agent by punishing it so that dili na siya moduol sa enemy again, or siya ang mopatay mismo sa enemy. If ang agent kay makakuha siya og coin or mga power-ups after jumping below a brick, then you praise your agent so that the next time nga makakita siya brick, iyan na pong utrohon ang iyahang gibuhat, which is katong mag-jump siya para iyang makuha ang katong coin or power-up. So, iyan na lang na siya sa reinforcement learning. Okay, so how do we reinforce an agent when it is learning? So, if an agent does something good, then it is given a positive reward. If you want to discourage an agent from doing a bad action, then it is given a negative reward. For example, dapat kaning rewards na to, dapat ma-quantify siya. So, for example, ang positive reward can be 1. Ang negative reward can be -1, although it's also possible nga dili ka maghatag og any reward. So basically 0. Okay? Okay. So there are two types of reinforcement learning. So we have passive and active reinforcement learning. So first, let's discuss muna the passive reinforcement learning. Anyway, may question so far regarding katong previous slides?
Man.
Okay. Sige. Next, passive reinforcement learning. So passive reinforcement learning, a passive agent has a fixed policy that determines its behavior. So kaning policy itong gina-mean kay mo ni siya ang series of actions, okay? A policy is a series of actions that the agent follows. So it basically determines its behavior throughout the problem space. Okay, so imagine you're in a cave filled with toxic air and monsters. However, it also contains lots of treasures. So ikaw ni kaning hero, okay, and then kaning cloud nga yellow, this is the toxic air. So basically everywhere you move na toxic air. So that's a negative reward. Like of course you want to avoid nga permi ka makaatog toxic nga air, so you want to go to the exit as fast as possible. However, sa inyong mabantayan, naapoy mga coins and diamonds. And then naapoy, there is a bottom right na ay stash of treasure. However, kanang stash of treasure, napalibutan siya og monster. Diba? So, given nga nakakita na ka nga, yan, nalagi mga Kasi tawanan na toxins. However, naapoy mga treasures, loots. So, do you go straight to the exit? So, muna siya. Kung nahunahon mo ang imong agent, will it go straight to the exit? Or will it be better to collect the diamonds, coins, and pearl before going to the exit? So, maglaag-laag pa ba siya bisan asa before going to the exit? Is it worth it? So, next, is it worth it to fight the monsters? Kani sila? Bisan asa ka moagi? Is it worth it to fight the monsters to get the treasure stash? So that's another one of the parang murag thinking nga inyong pwede mabuhat when it comes to reinforcement learning. So you can then train your agent so that it in the long run iyang ma-maximize ang reward. So iyang tan-awon if worth it ba, nga maglaag-laag diri sa mga toxic nga mga air para lang makuha ang kaning mga diamonds, or worth it ba nga iya pong i-analyze if worth it ba nga makipag-battle siya sa kaning monsters so that yang makuha ang treasure, kaning stash of treasure. Ingana na siya. Okay. So, questions about dito previous na wala. Wala? Okay, sige. So next, we have the Bellman equation. So the Bellman equation is one of the central elements of reinforcement learning. It is used to calculate the long-term reward when following a policy. So you simply combine the reward from performing the current action. Okay. Reward from performing the current action with the expected reward from future actions. Okay. So the equation is presented as follows. So we have the value of S. S is our state. Okay. Like katong dito sa previous nga page, ang state kay like it represents each tile. So different states, different tiles in this map. Okay. So the value of the state is equal to the max of the i-maximize nimo ang kaning equation. I will explain later in a while. And then you add the reward from performing the current action. Okay, reward given the state you are in, and then performing an action. So mo siya basically kaning first nga underline nako diri sa taas, plus gamma, which is the discount factor, and then the value of the next state, or the value of the expected reward from future actions. Kaning second na kung gi-underline. Expected reward from future actions. Okay, so simple lang siya. Yan na lang ang equation. However, if you can notice, murag nag-recursive siya, di ba? Kaning V, kani siya, which is basically equal to this. So, murag i-copy-paste ni mo ang kaning i-copy-paste ni mo siya, copy ni mo, and then paste ni mo dire. So, magpuli-puli ra ka sa kanang value sa VS prime. Okay, so ang discount factor. So, a discount factor is any value gamma nga within the range of 0 and 1. A high discount factor makes the agent care. Okay, a high nga discount factor makes the agent care more about the reward in the long term. Meanwhile, a smaller discount factor encourages short-term rewards. Okay. Yeah. Ito kung giyon ka ganina nga kaning max A. So, hitabo mo gud ani is i-calculate nimo ang all possible nga actions from your current state. So, once you arrive your final state or terminal nga state, imo yung pilion din nimo ang asa ato nga policy ang like nakahatag og pinakadako nga value sa imong current nga state. So for example, Okay. Example lang. So, let's just say nga na kay duha ka buok mm, ngani ngani ang imong gi-follow. So, mo ni mong path number one. Okay. And then ang imong second nga path kay kani. Niagi balik ka sa monster. Okay. Let's just say nga ang V sa number 1, V of number 1 is ikalisod. Number 1 is equal to 1.23. Okay. And then ang V sa number 2 is equal to let's just say -10. Okay? So asa man ang maximum ani sa ilang duha sa number 1 ug number 2, which is the maximum? Can anyone?
Number 1.
Okay, number 1, 'di ba? So max ang number 1. Kung mobalik ta sa previous slide, so ang max adto kay number 1. Ang pasabot ana, ang best nga policy nga imong i-follow kay kaning number 1. So basically mag up 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 right right right. Mo na siya nga policy ang imong i-follow. So kaning policy sa number 2 dili pangit na siya. Kay gamay siya ga reward, dili siya ang maximum. Yan na lang na siya mo na yung pasabot. Kaning max. Okay. Questions? After ani kay mag example na din natang calculations. None? Okay. Next. Okay. So example number 1, we have this grid, 2 by 4 na grid. And then ang natay states SA, SB, SC, SD, SE, SF, SG, and SH. Ang atong initial na state kay SE, and then ang atong terminal state is SH. And then ang reward kay 0 tanan except sa SH. So if you reach the finish line, matagaan ka og reward nga 1. So let's assume nga atong policy kay right. So basically ang policy nito kay right, and then right. Nga na lang. Okay. Then assuming nga ang atong gamma kay 0.9. Okay? So let's start with our equation. So we have value is equal to reward from S, reward given the state and then an action, plus gamma and then future multiplied by the future value. So unsa man kaning S, kani siya mahimo ni siyang SE. Kaning A mahimo ni siyang right nga arrow. Okay? And then plus gamma, V gamma times the value of S prime. So unsa may next nga state after going to the right from SE? SF, di ba? So kaning S prime mahimo ni siyang SF. So next. Okay, so mo na siya. So reward from SE going to the right. Okay, reward of SE going to the right plus gamma times value of SF. So, tanaw na po na ang value ng SF. Okay. Next. Alright. Sige. So, okay. So, next ani, copy-paste ni nato kaning asa taas nga equation. Kani. And then, atong i-plug diri. Pulihan nato si VSF diri sa ubos. So, ang mahitabo, kaning S, mahimo na siyang SF. Ang A, mahimo gyapong right. Plus, gamma, V star, and then SG. Diba? Okay. So, mo siya dayon. Next. Okay, follow ra so far. So kaning V star SF gipulhan ra na. Ako naman gi-color code. Akong gi-color code so maklaro ra ninyo. Red, red. Okay? Sige pulhan na to. Name mo siyang R, SF to the right plus gamma V and then SG. So next, ang V star SG pulihan na pod nato sa kaning Bellman equation. However, kaning S mahimo siyang SG. Ang A mahimong right, okay? Plus gamma V star and then unsa may next nga state, unsa may S prime or next nga state ni SG when we go to the right, SH, di ba? Okay, so next. Okay. So ang color code nako si VSH as blue. Singa na lang. Okay. Next. For a while. Okay. Sige, next. Ato na i-calculate ang mga rewards. But first of all, since ang SH, kani siya, SH is the terminal state. Okay? It is the terminal state or the finish, murag finish line. Diretso na nga ang iyahang value ani kay 0. Okay? So 0 na ni. 0. Okay. Next. Pila may reward ni SG if we are in SG and then we go to the right. So, ang reward, SG and then go to the right is 1. Tanawan ninyo. Diba? SG, go to the right. And some the reward, it is 1. So, butang tag 1 na rin. Okay. Pila may reward ni SF going to the right. So, SF going to the right. Ang reward niya kay 0. Okay. Next, pila may reward ni SE going to the right. So, SE goes to the right. Ang iyahang reward kay 0 gyapon. Diba? Okay. Ay, hindi klaro. Ayos na ako. Okay. So, muna din ni siya atong equation karon. Okay, so we have 0 plus gamma multiplied by 0 plus gamma multiplied by 1 plus y times 0, gamma times 0. So, ang gamma man nato kay na 0.9, so we change gamma to 0.9. Oops. Okay, so it will look like this. So 0.9 times 0, pila man? 0. Diba? Plus 1. It is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Multiplied by 0.9. Multiplied by 0.9 is 0.9. Plus 0. So 0.9 yapon, 0.9 times 0.9 is 0.81. Plus 0, 0.81. Okay. So ang value sa SE following the policy nga right is 0.81. Okay. Follow lang. Okay. Next example number 2. So what if nga instead of going straight to the finish line, ang atong agent kay gusto siya gusto niya pataason iyang work, something like that. So ang gusto buhaton sa imong agent kay mag up siya, up, right, down, and then right. Okay, so we will calculate the reward of this up, right, up, right, down, right. Okay? So, same ra gyapon atong gibuhat nga to last time. Ako na lang idiretso ang equation. So, maingani siya. I don't know anong nawala ang blue. But sige na lang. So, basically, yeah. Ingani mahitabos itong equation. So, we have reward of SE going up. Okay. Plus gamma multiplied by the reward of SA going to the right. Plus gamma multiplied by the reward of SB going to the right. Plus gamma multiplied by SC going down. Plus gamma multiplied by... Wala akong mouse. Okay. So, hanap ko. Plus SC multiplied plus reward of SC going down plus gamma multiplied by the reward of SG going to the right plus gamma multiplied by the value of SH. So again, ang value of SH is 0 because it is the terminal state. Okay, so this is 0. Pila may reward ni SG? Going to the right, it is 1. Pila may reward ni SC going down? 0. Pila may reward ni SB going right? 0. Pila may reward ni SA going right? 0 gap. Reward of SE going up is 1. Okay. Next. Okay. So, muna din ni siya. So, we have 0 plus 0.9 times 0, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So, if we, ito na pa na siyang isolve. So, we can see nga ang value, if we follow this policy is 0.6561. Diba? So, sa inyong mabantayan, mas dako ang policy, mas dako ang value if mo straight rata nga right. Kesa sa maglaag-laag pag bisan asa ang atong agent. So, this tells us nga, in the long run, mas maayo nga ang atong agent kay mag-go straight right ng siya instead of going up, right, right, down, right. Okay? Follow? Okay. So, silent. Sige, next. Example number 3. Last example. So, ang atong policy is right, 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 yapon. However, this time kay naanatay, like, na-fire on the immediate right sa initial state. And then, ang reward sa fire kay -1. So, we will now calculate the value of SE given the new circumstances. So, yep. So, plug in lang nato ang atong equation. So, we have the reward of SE going to the right plus gamma multiplied by the reward of SF going to the right plus gamma multiplied by the reward of SG going to the right plus gamma times the value of SH. So, again, ang value sa SH kay 0. Diba? And then, ang reward sa SG going to the right is 1. Okay. And then, ang reward of SF going to SG kay 0. Then, ang reward of SE going to the right is -1. Okay. So, kita lang na to. Next nga equation. Okay. So, we have -1 plus gamma 0 plus gamma multiplied by 1 plus gamma times 0. So, ang resultant ani niya ha kay 0.19. Negative 0.19, I mean. Okay. So, what if we go back to our example number 2? Okay. So, what if napun ni siya fire dere? Okay, what if knife fire? So unsa man ang mas better nga policy is the kaning example number 2 or example number 3? Okay. So actually, the better policy if knife fires sa SF, if knife fires sa SF, the better policy would be kaning sa example number 2. Because ang value sa SE when following that policy is 0.6561 compared to the policy in example number 3, which is negative 0.19. So, yeah. Okay. So again, okay. So again, we have two policies. Ang first na nga policy is go straight. And then we have another policy which is go up, right, down, and then right. So sa inyong nakita, it is much better to follow kaning sa number kaning policy kaning, let's just say this is A, kaning B. So we know that it's much better to follow policy A in this case because ang yung value kay 0.61 something compared kaning sa kaning going straight right kay negative 0.19. Okay. Questions? Okay, wala na. Sige. So mo lang to siya for passive nga reinforcement learning. Next, we go with active reinforcement learning. Okay, so in active reinforcement learning, in active reinforcement learning, an active agent must decide what actions to take. It needs to learn a complete model with outcome probabilities for all actions. Okay, so we use the active reinforcement learning if we do not know the probabilities of the rewards and actions from happening. Okay. So let's just say you're in a casino. You have 100 pesos in your hands. And then you see 3 bandits. So kaning bandits kay I don't know. I guess you can call them slot machines. I'm not really sure. But sa computer science nga literature, we just call them bandits. So kaning mga bandits kay let's just say nga naa sila payoff. Pwede siya mohatag og 0 pesos, pwede siya mohatag 20 pesos or 50 pesos or 100 pesos. However, each of the bandits kay lahi-lahi sila og probabilities for each payoff. For example, let's say nga si bandit A kay mahilig siya maghatag og 100 pesos. Let's just say 50% of the time si bandit A kay 100 pesos ang iyang ginahatag. However, si bandit B 90% of the time kay 0 pesos iyang ginahatag. Okay? However, you actually don't know kung sa to siya nga mga probabilities. So you have to learn those. Which begs the question, which bandit will you play in? Okay? Kaya wala makakabalo. Okay? So you do not know the probabilities of those bandits. So which bandit will you play in? So diha na din mo sulod ang question of the concept of exploration and exploitation. So exploration, when an agent does not have a full model of the problem space, it's bound to do some exploration to get a better glimpse of the space. So once the agent finds a promising solution, it can then exploit it. So basically, ang pwede nimo mahitabo, imo sang i-explore katong mga bandits, okay? So murag i-feel sa nimo kung asa dito sa mga bandits ang like gahatag og dagko nga reward. After makita after nimo ma-feel which of the bandits kay most probable nga maghatag og dako nga reward, you can then start exploiting it. Okay? So, yes, because confident naman ka nga kato siya nga bandit kidagho siya mohatag og kanang kwarta. So, pwede na din ka mag-start og exploit sa iya. So, yeah, wala siya exploration, exploitation. Um, ang equation nga gamiton niya is actually katurag yapong Bellman nga equation. However, naalay updates gamay so that ma-take into consideration ang mga probabilities. Probability of kanang um, performing an action given a certain state. Kana siya. But dili na nako siya apilon ani kay para dili na mataas-tas ang discussion. So anyway, questions so far about sa katong akong gipang discuss ganina before I proceed with the project. So yeah, short lang atong discussion. Questions? None? Okay, sige. Okay, so project, we have like two parts ng project. We have part A and part B. So for part A, kay kuan, first you have to find a publicly available nga dataset. Yeah, meaning mangita mo sa internet og dataset nga publicly available. And then you document the variables, what each variable is about, and then which are independent and dependent variables. So for example, na ay column or variable nga height. So unsa man tong height? So is it the so magbutan din mo the height of maybe a flower, I guess. The height of a flower's stalk nga na. And then yeah, aside from that you identify which are the independent and dependent variables. Next, provide descriptive statistics and visualization of the data. For example, mga mean, median, mode, sa pa man, mean, median, mode, count, okay, mga count, yan, distribution, and then visualization, kay, yeah, mga graph. You have your pie graph, your histogram, box plot, yan na. So, whichever is appropriate for your data. Okay. I mean, for each variable, whichever is appropriate for each variable. So, for example, if ay imong variable kay ang iyang value kay text, let's say for example, colors, green, red, yellow, ingana, mo na siya yung value. So, of course, you cannot do kanang box plot with that kind of data. So, ang more appropriate ana kay kuan graph, bar graph. Yan na. Next, select which variables you want to retain for use in the modeling. So that's actually part of pre-processing. Yeah. So if needed, pre-process the data through cleaning, transformation, and reduction. So if needed lang. So you can read up online, do your research for cleaning, transformation, and reduction. Okay. So actually, this is kani siya part ni siya sa data mining, not dili sa machine learning. But it's also good if you try learning this. So, yeah. After you pre-process your data, mag-provide na po mo descriptive statistics and visualization of the clean data. Yeah. Provide visualization of the clean data. I mean, pre-processed data. After that, ayan na din mo mag-perform sa machine learning task. So, you can use any machine learning algorithm except regression as long as it is appropriate for the given data set. Okay? Evaluate the performance of the model afterwards and then output the model if possible. So, examples of data pre-processing. So, cleaning. So, let's just say nga na ay missing data sa imong dataset. So, nakay two options. First, you can ignore the entry. Okay? So, this is easier. So, for example, isa ka row of data nga na ay missing nga data. I mean, na isa ka row sa imong dataset nga na ay missing value. So, ang easiest nga imong button na is just ignore it. Like, you remove it from your dataset. If gusto ka maglisod-lisod sa imong life, so you can fill in the missing value manually or by most probable value. By most probable value, kay lisod-lisod ni siya, kapoy na daghan og mga computations. Magamit pa mo Bayesian nga equation for this. So, I suggest nga ignore na lang ninyong entry if that's the case. Next, you have transformation. First na to sa transformation is normalization. So, example, if a column contains very large numbers ranging from 0 to 1 million, so for example, naka-column nga salary. So, let's just say nga ang salary kay let's just say nga nagkolekta kag salary from poor people and mga billionaires. Okay? So of course, ang ilang mga sweldo gid anak kay dako kaayo og differences, di ba? So what you can do is normalize it so that dili kaayo dako ang difference between the different values. So yeah. So for example, you can normalize it such that it will be inside the range of 0 to 1. So nara na equation nga inyong makita sa web for normalization. So you can try looking it up. Then next we have attribute selection. Okay? So attribute selection basically mamili lang mo kung unsa nga columns or variables ang inyong i-retain. Kay usually na may mga columns nga dili na needed. For example, ID or name. You do not need those columns. You do not need ID and a name for your kanang machine learning modeling, di ba? So you remove those. Okay. Next, we have discretization. So for example, instead of having numbers for a person's age, let's just say nga na kay mga ang imong respondents kay people ang age kay 0 to 65. Okay? So instead of ang imong dataset kay 0 to 65 ang under sa age nga column, you can just change it to children, teen, young adult, and senior. Nga na siya sa discretization. Okay, so mo na siya. Questions for part A. Questions? Wala na? Okay, sige. Sure. Next, we have project part B. So, kaning sa part B sa project, this is part of reinforcement learning. Kaning akong i-discuss today. So, naay 5x5 grid. Okay, I will provide a 5x5 grid as an input to your program where each tile contains a reward. And then the reward can be any positive number, negative number, or 0. There is also an initial state and a terminal state. The agent begins in the initial state. So, mo ni siya kaning start. Start. And then, ang iyang goal kay makaabot siya sa exit. After n moves. So, kaning n, this is configurable. Okay? So, the agent should not move to the terminal state if it is not the last move. Meaning, ay hara mo move ang imong agent sa exit if it is the last nga move na. So, ang only movement sa agent nimo kay up, down, left, right, and then moving to the edge will retain the agent in its current position. So, for example, naka dere. Okay? And then, move ka to the right. So, ang mahitabo, ma-retain ra ka diri sa imong current nga state. Okay? So you remain in your current state. However, you still get the reward of the kanang dito ka na, of the tile that you're in or the state that you're in. So 0, you move right, balik ra ka sa imong current state, and then ang imong reward kay 0. Okay? So what if naka dire? So you move right, mubalik ra ka sa imong current state, and then matagaan ka og reward nga 1. Next. The agents should maximize the rewards within those, not 10. This is n moves. The agent should maximize the rewards within those n moves. And then output the policy that maximizes those rewards. The value of n should be configurable as well as the value of gamma should be configurable. So again, after n moves, inyong i-output ang policy nga ga-maximize sa rewards. So for example, what if looks like, I guess, kani siya ang output ani. I'm not sure. So let's just say ang n na to kay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's just say ang n kay 7. So I think, I'm not sure when akong calculate. So I think the output of this would be the path from going from this. So ang output nimo kay left, left, up, 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 right, down. Okay? So nga na lang na siya. Questions about this? Wala. Okay, so ang project na part A is 50% of the final project, and then ang project na part B is another 50% of your final project. So that is all. If wala na other questions, then I guess that concludes our class for today. Thank you, everyone. Bye.